Here I have a pandas series, and the pandas series doesn't contain anything that interesting. It contains some data with some names and some values. And I want to do a selection of this data. I'll save this data to a pickle file just so I don't have to regenerate it. And we'll take a look. I want to select all the places where the name is TSWE or the name is CHMK. And I want to do that for some specific dates. But when I do this with index slice, I end up getting the Cartesian product of those two choices. I get TSWE for each one of the dates and CHMK for each one of the dates. And it may be the case as part of my analysis that I want to look at TSWE for date 1, 2, and 3, and CHMK for dates 1 and 2. I might then say, oh, this is a good case of doing a .lock with a multi-index. But can you spot where this code still kind of sucks? And if you said that this ends up being something that kind of works, except if it turns out that the original data set had a higher fidelity measurement on the date time index, for example, it had the minutes as well, that the multi-index approach with these exact values will no longer work, even though the .lock with the index slice will, you're absolutely right. In fact, the answer here is one of index operations. It is very common when you're using pandas, the way that you should want to be using it, to find that many of your analyses really come down to operations that you first do on the index and then only at the very end apply to the data. And so if it were the case that you wanted to select out just TSWE on these two dates and CHMK on these dates, but the fidelity of that time series measurement wasn't just exact match of the date, but that date plus whatever hour, minutes might arise under that, so there could be multiple entries for the 7th of January. Well, what you might want to do is first construct the index by doing just a regular loop here, performing a functools.reduce with an intersection to find the intersection of the indices that you pick out, and then unioning those resulting multi-indices back up. Wow, that was a whirlwind of pandas code that maybe didn't start off that great, but I think we got to a nice point at the end. I want to thank all of you for joining us for this session, and I want to thank all of you who shared with us any examples of kind of sucky pandas code that you are looking to improve. If you happen to have code that you just kind of feel in your gut, I'm not that comfortable with this code, I'm not that confident this code doesn't suck, but I'm very motivated to see what I can do to improve it, I would love if you would feel free to reach out to us, share that code on Discord, or by sending us an email, share it with us on Mastodon or on Twitter. Thank you all for joining us for this session. I hope you have a better sense for how to write good pandas code, how to write code that has better performance, as well as code that doesn't have these serious potential correctness issues, and a better way for you to organize the way that you approach these problems. My name is James Powell, and this has been Can You Spot Why This Pandas Code Sucks? Thank you all for joining us, and I'll see you all next time.